with just you kind of introducing yourself. So I guess we'll start with the first topic was fits on linebackers. I'm guessing on top of that, guys are probably looking like at what are you guys reading? I was looking through your playbook. It looks like you guys are reading a little bit of flow. And how are you teaching your linebackers how to fit?
Yeah, good question. And let's see if I could actually share my playbook as well with you guys. Here it is. Okay, so you want to talk about backer fits?
Yes, sir.
So we've again, I've done it a couple different ways, and I'm just going to tell you guys the way that we've done it now. And if you want to talk about different ways and how you do it, that's totally fine too. We used to just read guards. I wasn't a big fan of that. Our at the time was just because that's what he did. But to me, I played linebacker in college, and again, I had some pretty good coaches that I played for and learned under. So what we did was we read what we call a triangle. So you're not only reading the line, yes, but you're reading the back as well. So you should be able to see, if I'm a linebacker, I should be able to see at least 3 people in my sight line. If I'm a stack backer, I should be able to see the tackle, the guard, and then the back. So what we say now, so we key the line through the back. So you should be able to see all of those guys. And the best way to teach that for your linebackers is to, when we talk about a triangle, is to have them look at a point in the middle of that triangle. That's the best way that they'll be able to see it. Because if I'm just looking at the lineman and trying to see the back behind it, it's not going to, it's just not as clear. Or if I'm just looking at the back and I don't see the lineman, I'm going to miss a pull, and then I'm going to be pissed off. So the best way to teach that for your backers, from what I've, seen in the past and had success with, is, when teaching that triangle read, is to pick a point somewhere in the middle of that triangle that I can be able to see all the things in it. I get a clear picture of what's going on. So as far as actual fits, the way that we're doing it now is we've even simplified it more than I thought that we could. So it's going to be, you're either run to or run away, or flow to, flow away, either way you want to see it. So so it's either run to me or run away from me. Now what that means is that, just take an example here. If this is just a regular old inside run here, if it's flow to me, my stimulus, I just like to talk about stimulus, what I should do. My stimulus is to blow it up. Okay. So play to, or flow to, blow it up. So that means hit my gap, punch my gap out. If I'm a C gap player, punch the C gap out. If I'm a B gap player, punch that out. All right. For us, our middle backer here, it's always going to be flow to him. So he's just going to punch out the remaining A gap, wherever that is. We 2-gap our nose. So we tell our backers, you have to make the D line right. Right, so you have to see what's going on in front of you. Their vision is important to us. So, if this guy gets reached for whatever reason, that's fine. You just fit off in the A gap. You just blow that remaining A gap. So that's the run to portion of it. Now, run away. So this backer right here, this left side backer in this picture, it's run away from him. All the flow's away. So what's he got to do? We just say, hey, flow away, see the play. So depends. If this gets, if I'm telling my end in front of him, you got to be in B gap, and he is in B gap, and you go in B gap, then we got a big issue. Then we got an open gap. So he has to see the play away from him. Nothing's pressing him right now. All this should be blown up. So it should cut back. So he just ends up being a cutback player. So we say flow away, see the play. And you obviously have to teach that to your guys, because it's not going to be the same every time. We'll say things like, if you see same color cross face, then rock and roll. So just little things like that, little sayings like that. But flow away, see the play. If he's C gap, you got to fit B gap. That's just part of seeing the play. Questions on that? It's the same thing. Let me teach it from we call them our inverts right here, our two inverted safeties in the 3-3-5. Those are the two extra fives or whatever. So what we do, it's the same thing for them. Flow away, flow two, flow away. If it's flow two, to this guy, as we look at him right here, we call this pinch. So he's got no fit. He's got no gap right now. So he's just going to pinch it, meaning slow play. And then he could, if it does bounce wide, excuse me, if it does bounce wide, then he can go ahead and set an edge. But then if this thing folds in and creases us, he can go make a play on it right there. And then the backside guy, if it's flow two, flow away, it's flow away from him right now. So he holds. He holds for what we call BCCR, boot, cutback, counter, and reverse. So he holds. He's got nothing. He's our, he's the RPO guy right now. So you just hold, dude. You got nothing. You got no gap. You got nothing. Hold for boot, cutback, counter, reverse. I know we've taught it before where it's just like, all right, hey, go hit the guard as hard as you can. Well, that's great and everything, but when the ball's getting cut back and, you want to talk about fill the fence. Yeah, fill the fence. But, if the play is not coming your way, like, why would you waste yourself? We had guys doing that. They were running into the C gap in its outside zone the other way. You're like, dude, what do you, the ball's over there. Why are you going, oh, that's my gap. Well, yeah, that's nice, but you didn't do anything. You wasted yourself. So, so we just took that out of that so we can get more guys to the ball.
Okay, and now is this is this something that you guys like? Do you work on this during pursuit, or is this something that just like an individual type drill?
Yeah. So the main thing for us, here's the linebacker stuff. So yeah, this is something. This is in there every day. So they should be. I don't coach the linebackers, but our head coach does. He should be doing run fits every single day, 5 minutes worth of run fits, because that's the most important thing to me and to us as a defense is the run fit. And you'll see here kind of the way that our defense is structured. That's the main thing. In a perfect world, I don't move anybody from the box. All of our adjustments are in the secondary because I want those front six playing fast and stopping the run, and then make them throw to beat us. So they should be working run fits every day. What he does is he goes to number 1 through 5, and if he'll point 1 this way, that means inside zone that way. If he points 1 that way, it's inside zone that way. 2 is outside zone, 2 this way, 2 that way. So he gets, even the scout guys know, and all those guys know, oh, okay, hey, 3 is power right or power left, however you look at it. So they're working their fits, yeah.
Now do you guys ever in practice kind of like work this with the D line so that way? I mean, because I know you said or you had in your book that those linebackers' jobs are always to make everybody right, which is kind of something that we preach as well. Defensive line's technically not ever wrong. So is that something you guys you guys ever get together with the D line and work that through?
Yeah, our inside run period is super important. Like that, to me, that's the most important thing. So we'll split up. We'll go 7-on-7 and inside run at the same time during practice. Okay. So our inside run period is super important. So those guys, and yes, during Indy, those guys will get together. We do a lot of group times. I like group time because that way I can work. I'll even take the backups and stuff, and we'll work half line passing. And then we'll work half line, basically inside run. So we'll take like 3-on-2 for the secondary and receivers and stuff, and work routes and work combos, while the other guys are doing inside run and fits. So,
okay.
I like group time just because it gives you some live interaction of what it looks like. You're not in a vacuum, or you're not in a in a lab doing it. You like in Indy. So the more pictures that we can see and react to, the better for me.
Okay. So how does that work with your rover and your hammer, your outside safety types? How does that work?
whoever we can get. As far as like practice time, sometimes we don't work run fits with them, and sometimes we don't work inside run with those guys, depending on what's going on. Just because sometimes they don't need it because for example, if we're playing a spread team or a 10 personnel team, well, you guys really don't have to work the fits. You can go do more 7-on-7 or do more pass type stuff. But if we're playing a 21, and really for you guys, just so you guys know, most of the teams in our league are spread. We play a lot of 10 personnel and 20 personnel teams. That's just how it is for us. I know it's probably different for you guys, but so we do see a lot of spread. But every team does have a tight end and plays a tight end in our league too. So the way that we play it is that our invert or our whatever strong safety, whatever you want to call him, he comes down and plays over the tight end. So we say if you have there's two detached and then there's two attached. So if two's attached as a tight end, then you're attached to that gap. So you're now attached to the run fit. So if we're playing a team that's a tight end, yeah, you're going to have to go down there and play over him. We start him at 3x3, and then it's different for each kid. But yeah, now you're part of the run fit. So now you have to go to inside run.
Okay. Sorry. Just real quick, coaches, I unlocked the meeting. There's a waiting room. So if you were waiting on somebody to get in, just shoot a message in the message. I'll make sure that you are in the meeting right now. And then we'll get those guys added to the message so we don't have any penises or anything like that.
You've seen the craziness there is insane.
Yeah. So you kind of hit on something. You talked about tight ends, which I know in the 3-3 stack. When you get a tight end, sometimes, especially, I mean, I know I was I still am as a young defensive coordinator. You see a tight end, you're like, oh crap, what do I do? So how do you, or what are some ways that you handle the tight end outside of bringing down your hammer or your rover?
You said outside of doing that?
Yeah, yes, sir. Is that the only thing that you guys do?
No. So we could I like it when I see tight ends in ball games because that means there's probably not enough throw. They're not going to throw, and it's like great. This is easy. You just put a guy in line. So we'll man that guy. Usually, I'd like to preferably man that guy. It's probably going to be with my free safety, or depending on how we roll it. If it's 2x2 or 3x1, ideally I just like to man that up. If that's the case, you can't always do that, but it's the best because then I don't have to worry about tight end pop pass or any RPO like that, which really irritates me. And they're good plays. They're really good plays. The 3x1, they put the tight end down and they never show it. And, you're yelling, hey, tight end's down, pop pass. And they can't hear you. And then he's right up the seam. And, so really anytime we like to, we can man that usually with the backer. If we can do that, that'd be good. We have this one tight end in our league who's really good. So we do put our hammer on him or usually say hammer, or penny on him and, man that up. But so we can play it. There's a couple different ways. And what we did last year, actually, we just went 1x1 off of him and played it. We brought our safety down and played it like he was straight up a defensive end. And we had some real good success with it, actually. So we started him out 3x3. So you could read it. Now, the better you are, the closer you can play. The worse you are, the further back you got to go. You play at linebacker depth. But, if we're going to play zone, we'll just play zone. If we're going to play man, we just man them up. But other than that, yeah, we don't really do too much outside of that. If we see a tight end, I'm happy about it.
Okay. All right. Anybody got any more questions on, on anything we just talked about right there? With the tight end, with bringing down the outside guys on that tight end. Which I think, which when I learned the 3-3 stack, that's kind of what I was taught, to bring that that outside guy down.
Yeah.
So that
You
way,
know, you can play him in a 7, your DN, but I don't necessarily like doing that. It's a good adjustment, especially if you've never shown it. So we played with that a little bit, and that tight end is like, the hell just happened to me? He just got he just got knocked back because he didn't think, he thought he was going to down block on the tight end nice and easy, but the DN goes to him. So, if that's something that's in your arsenal, if you feel comfortable with your end playing like a 7, so the inside shade of the tight end, then that's a decent adjustment too. So
okay. James is asking, how do you defend the power?
Power?
Yes, sir.
Regular old power?
Yeah,
21
power, pulling the guard and getting inside.
So, power, I guess you're going to say I have 21 personnel. We get a lot of, you can call it power. It's really like a long trap out of 10 personnel where everybody downs and then they kick out our end. We call that power just because there's a pulling guard. But true power you're talking about, James. James, talk to me. Sorry. Did I pass it? Sure did. No, wait.
Yeah, inside run power.
What's that?
You said inside run power, right? It
Yeah.
just went by.
Did it? Inside run, 10 personnel, 20 personnel, 21. That's just run. I got it somewhere. Oh, power. Here it is. Here we go. 21 personnel power. So the way that we're playing it, tight end's attached. So that means I'm attached to my gap. For us, if we get outside run, that means we're boxing, meaning we're going to force everything back and keep our outside arm free. If we get inside run, we're a spill team. Anything inside run, inside the tackles, we're spilling. So spill until this is outside though. Okay, so we got to box this back in. So this our invert has to box it back in. He is a outside contained player. So usually, you can get it a couple different ways. Let's say, James, are you talking to me now or what? Or are you still mad at me?
I think he was muted. The coach had him muted.
Oh, he got muted. So we'll talk about it.
I'll unmute him real quick. I muted everybody during the.
Oh, that's true. During the.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a real pandemic.
Real pandemic. There you go. There you go, James.
All right. Do you want to see it where the tight end blocks out or where the tight end blocks down?
All right, you got me?
Yeah.
Tight end blocks down. So everybody's down, fullback kicks, and the guard wraps.
All right. So everybody's down, fullback kicks. So that means he's going to go ahead and play the down block. The invert, the invert goes ahead, squeezes everything down, meets that fullback where he is. All right. Boxes it outside arm free. Then everybody else. So our backers here, we're playing open close window. All right. In this case that you're talking about, we're going to get a closed window because we get 2 guys going down. So this is actually kind of the scenario we're talking about here. All right. So down. So he's going to rock out. Our backer is going to go to C gap then. He's going to go to C gap. And since to him, he's fitting inside. So he's going to spill. He spill.
Are you always slanting your ends in?
They play B gap originally. So we put him in a 4. Just our base is a 4 tech, and he's reading inside hip of the tackle.
Because it looks like in some of your pictures, your ends are in like 4 eyes or 3s.
Yeah.
I'm a shitty drawer. That's why.
Okay, so it should be 4-0-4.
Typically, yeah. We'll play different fronts, so maybe that's what it is. But if we're just talking base, it's going to be head up and reading inside hip of the tackle. So right now, he's just going here. Maybe this does look like a 3, maybe, So, but either way, he should be in the B gap. So he's fitting B gap. Therefore, it appears to be a closed window. For us, pull overrides everything. All right, so if we get a pull, our middle backer has to go scrape and get over the top. And then our guy that gave the pull call, he's back hip of the football.
So
yeah, go ahead.
So you're Sam and Will. We go Sam, Mike, and Will. Your Sam and Will are given calls depending on what the guards are doing, right?
Pull. Yep.
Yep. So when they pull, it doesn't look like you have. I mean, so our Will backer is ball away, backside A.
Mm-hmm.
So we always have the A gaps controlled. So either by the nose and the front side A and the Will backers in the backside A gap.
So you'll just have him take the run through?
Yeah, he runs through and he becomes another defensive line, flat down the line, no more than a yard deep in the backfield.
Okay. Yeah, so we don't.
Because we try to keep our mic free, just like you do.
Okay.
Because we get a lot of kids. I mean, we go from spread or to, we're a double wing team. We play another double wing team. So we get a lot of cutback. So we got to make sure the A gaps are covered.
Sure. Yeah, I get that. It's just better for us. Are you a spill team? You force it inside or outside?
We call our outside linebackers stud and whip. They're containing everything. They keep everything inside, and everybody else runs to the ball.
What about your backers if they gotta meet a blocker? Are they spilling?
Depends on their responsibility on that type of play.
Okay. Because if everything was boxed back in, I would do the same thing. I just have that backside backer hit the run through, because then there'd be really nowhere for it to run. But since we're a spill team, we try to use our speed, and so we're more lateral. So we're telling our backside backer here, he gets the pull call, you're back hip of the football. He might end up in A, yeah. But if this thing goes and bounces, I don't want him running through the A gap and wasting himself. Because if this is, if it hits here and it's bottled up and he hits it outside because this guy, he forgot to tie his shoestring or something and he fell, then that backer's he's gonna go ahead and get over the top of everything, and then he should be there to make the play. So, it's just two different style of running it, but that's how we play it. Just this gives this guy more freedom. That's all. So, and then it'd be the same thing really if the tight end blocked out. So it's still going to be open close window for these front side guys. Spill and then spill overlap and then back into the football.
Do you slant? I don't know if you answered this question. Do you slant your defensive lineman? I know you said you two gap with your nose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can. We definitely can and will.
What do you do your base? What do you teach day one?
We won't even do movements. We'll just do, read your keys, but then progress to one-man movements and then progress to two-man movements and then progress to three-man movements. So if you're lined up in fours, what's the ends reading? Inside leg of the tackle. So they're B-gap players. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So that would initially put our backers as C-gap players. It's kind of, think of a tight front. It's kind of a bastardized tight front. The reason we put them in fours is because they don't know where we're going. So if I called pinch, pinch whatever, well then that would mean both ends are stunting to B gap. But if I called claw, starting with a C, both ends are going to go to C gap. So I could call it in, but if I'm just regular playing base, then you just play your inside leg of the tackle, whatever happens. Yeah, we've been running the 3-3 stack for a while, and we've always kind of slanted and moved our defensive linemen quite a bit. And just recently, we started playing more like a 5-0-5, mm-hmm. and kind of reading the tackle a little bit because we get quite a few down blocks. We just try to we feel like that keeps our backers free a little bit better also. Yeah, I've really, this is one of the first times I've gone to a 404. So the 505 is good. I mean, that's fine. We were stagnant in it last year, and it just didn't work out well for us. So we're going to do a little bit more movement. We used to play through the D line's heels, and then you're telling that defensive end, go ahead, tackle the read zone in the A gap through the C gap. So
Yeah.
we had guys that they don't get there, and then you're like, well, where the hell did that thing hit? Well, then you find out the end didn't get there, and it's like, well, either he's not fast enough, or they're hitting it too quick, or he got hung up by the tackle, and it's just. And that they're C-gap players. The other team knows that they're C-gap players too, which didn't always sit well with me. So kind of wanted the chalk last. And I mean, now if they're good, if they can kick butt, then cool, then let's roll. But our guys weren't exactly those type of guys every single play. So.
All right, Coach. So I guess since we're kind of moving, I guess we'll move backwards to the backside of defense. Let's talk a little bit about coverages. 2 high, 1 high. I know we played a lot of. We tried to get in some 2 high stuff. We weren't very good at it. I get guys back there, and back there in the back, and they forget that they'd have run as well. So what do you guys do on your coverages there?
So right now, out of this single high that we're running, we're basing out of a cover 3. And it's easy for us to get to cover 1 as well. So just starting with cover 3, about that for a minute. Kind of the way that I run it is more of like a cover 5, and I'll kind of explain. So we'll have our corners be the deep thirds. So here's we call it blue. Okay. Cover 3 is just blue. So the way we play it, corners pull deep third, and then your freeze the middle third. But we'll really have our inverts protect the seam. So we call them curl flat wheel CFW players. So they're protecting the seam first, and then reacting to the flat. So those guys are 7x1 inside eye of the number 2 receiver. If you have one, 2 detached. Again, we talked if 2 was attached, that would attach us to the run fit and put him 3x3. But in this particular picture here, 2 is attached detached. So he's 7 yards off of him by 1 yard inside. Sometimes we'll loosen that up as well. Because remember, in this, he doesn't really have a fit. We got our 6 guys in the box. We got what we want. You're not really part of the fit right now. So you're more of that, are you a safety? Are you a backer? The reason why we're going back to this is because we have a lot of those hybrid guys that aren't quite safeties, and they're not quite backers, and they're not quite corners. And they're really not quite safeties either. So, we kind of do our best to put those guys in the best position. So this dude's going to really, we call it, his reroute's super important if he gets a vertical release. So we call it, you get these kids, I'm sure everybody has it, where, oh, coach, I rerouted him, and he just gave him, just a glancing blow, just ticked him real quick. Oh, you see that reroute? What, man? The dude just blew by you 100 yards, man. You didn't even touch the guy. So we get that all the time. So we just talk about give him a nosebleed. Put your your Rydell under his chin strap. I don't care if they throw the ball to the flat. They're not throwing it vertical. That is totally fine by me. This guy will adjust. Okay. So we talk about give him a nosebleed. If that guy tries to get around you and go vertical, give him a nosebleed. Then get to the flat. So we talk about that. At least then we can get them off their routes. And remember, you don't have a run fit. It's okay, dude, unless you get outside run. But, you don't have a run fit. So give this dude a nosebleed and give time for your safety. So that's kind of how we coach it up. And then the backers here, they're we call it relate to 2. And then this guy, if we're dropping 8, he relates to 3. So questions on that? I know that's, I don't know I don't just like it when this guy, our invert, just runs to the flat. It's like, well, what's the point of that? Now you left this slant or whatever, or this curl just wide the hell open. You're counting on this inside backer to get there. That's a roll of the dice. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of like you, man. I hate seeing those guys go out and cover grass. Go be a part of something. Go knock somebody's teeth out. Go do something. I did have a question. With your corners, now are you telling what's their? Are they backpedaling? Are they shuffling? And then it looks like you got them kind of shuffling towards the hash. Is that by design, or is that just something? Is that just how you drew it up?
Yeah. So when we talk about cover 3, we're going to talk about defending 2 verticals. So that's what I got them. I got them splitting the verticals there. We are a shuffle read team, just because it's easier for them to see everything if we're in zone. So if they're in zone, I want them to key 2 through the mesh point. So it's hard to do that when you're squared up to the receiver, like if you're going to backpedal and then having your head inside like this. I would just rather just have them cock their whole body that way. So therefore we just shuffle read. So they take their 3 shuffle steps, and then after that, then they could either burst out or do whatever they have to do. But it's mandatory 3 shuffle steps, even if it's run to them. Just with all the timing aspects, they're a secondary run force defender, so it's not like you got to be there right away, and then give up the double pass or something like that, or something stupid, or a bubble and go or something like that. So those guys, it's mandatory 3 shuffles, and then they can react and do whatever they have to do. So.
Okay. James is asking, do you play a 3 match? I thought I read in your playbook somewhere. It kind of looked like a little match coverage, which I think that's essentially what we're.
Yeah, we're pattern match. Like this is pattern match right here. Where's James? Turn James on.
I'll turn him on, and then you'll have a question from Lori too. James, you on?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, what's your question, James? What are you talking about when you talk about match?
So when you play cover 3, is it, I don't know, I've heard it called old country cover 3, where you're just dropping the cones and then going off the, quarterback's eyes, ball, or are you playing cover 3 and relating the routes?
So we're relating to routes. So we're patterning it. So we actually call it, like you see here, like relate to 2, relate to 3. That's just what we call it. So
you want to go over that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. So as far from a curl flat wheel perspective, if you're a curl flat wheel player, if 2 goes vertical, we talk about give them a nosebleed. If 2 goes in, then go ahead in, and then drive number 1. And if same thing, if 2 goes out, remember a curl flat wheel. So flash in the curl if there's no curl, then don't need to flash in the curl. Then you can just play flat wheel. Always run with the wheel. If you don't run with the wheel, you're screwed. Okay. And you will, if you're playing a lot of cover 3, you will get, you get the switch routes and you'll get the wheel route. So, and then as far as a backer perspective, if you're talking about relate to 2, well, if 2 goes out, all right, look up the new 2. 2 goes in, look up the new 2. If 2 goes vertical, collision him and find a new 2. So, that's really kind of your same thing. And same thing if you relate to 3, except you do all that stuff, you just find 3. So
corner. I mean, you're basically doing the same thing with number 1, right? Or are you reading 2? You read 2 to 1, and
we'll read 2 to 1. Yeah, we won't. If you, in my opinion, if you have your eyes on 1, you're going to lose sight of 2, and 2 is going to be running right by you.
Yeah. So
we tell them 2 to 1. Again, we're always thinking worst case scenario, 2 verts. So we want them to split the verts, stay on top. Let's see. Yeah. You're reading 2 to 1. If 2 goes out, we're playing like a tighter type of cover 3. So if 2 goes out, then I can transition my eyes to 1. And if 1's running a curl or something shorter, then I could just react. But remember, I'm still in a deep third.
How do you could you guys play this at a trips versus trips? Do you play your free match versus trips?
Yeah, we match everything. We're a pattern match team, period, regardless of cover 2, cover 3.
Can you talk about trips? How you defend or align to trips coverage wise?
Sure. Yeah. So so I'll show you how we do it. Again, remember within the context of, for me, I want to keep my box intact at all times. I want these guys playing fast, playing downhill and stopping the run, and then force them to throw. So for me, again, like I talked about, all of our motion adjustments or 3-by-1 adjustments are made in the secondary. So we talk about sling it. All right. If we have 3, we sling the coverage. So all that is you saw here, well, we had a free in the middle, and our rover was playing. Our rover's the weak side guy. We have Penny, free, and rover. Penny's to the strong side, passing strength, I should say. Free, middle of the field, rovers to the weak side of formation. So now what we're doing, okay, now we have a 3-by-1. So we'll go ahead. Penny, you stay the same. You're still the strength. Now free, we're just going to cover it down, and then we're going to move our rover back here to the free. So we teach all these guys back here. So like DB Indy is, you all do the same thing. So we're all learning how to play the middle of the field. We're all learning how to play curl flat wheel. We're all learning how to play deep third. So, and then from there we could see, who's the best at playing a deep third, who's the best at playing curl flat wheel, who's the best at relating to 2, and then we can go from there, and really fit these guys in spots. But they should know what the heck's going on. So we'll go and cover that down. So if we got motion, say it started here, we talk about 2-by-2 is web. We just call it web. So 2-by-2 is web, and then if we get it, we'll have to sling it if they go to 3-by-1. So we say, hey, sling left. That means, all right, we're just slinging our responsibilities as well. So I became a curl flat wheel player. Now I just became the middle of the field.
So yeah, you spin. So you spin them. We call that spin when we're
sure.
Spin back, spin down.
Yeah, we've done it before in the past where you bump. You would just bump the backer out, bump everybody over, and they keep the same responsibilities and all that. But then for us, we're just getting outmatched with a backer on their best player. Everybody's putting their best player at the slot now, and they're just throwing a dude out there at number 1, so just standing out there.
You spin and still play cover 3 or your match. We spin and we play cover 1.
Yeah, see, and that's fine. I mean, and that's fine. I just don't want them to dictate what the hell I'm doing. If I want to run cover 3, I'm going to run cover 3. So I don't want, just because you motion doesn't mean I should have to check out of something or, run something that I don't want. So this is my way of doing that.
How often are you dropping your 8 in coverage? How often are you only rushing 3 there?
Depends on how. We've had years where our front's really good and we could play a lot of it. Like 80% drop 8, 75% drop 8. We're probably playing drop 8 less than half the time, a shade under less maybe.
You get a lot of your single receiver like quick hitch because you removed your outside backer to the
single side.
Yeah.
They're either putting their best player here at number 3 or here and soloing up and throwing the ball. So that's our job as coaches to say, who's where, play the matchup game. And if they are, hitting us here, then we'll start to manipulate and play games out there. So it's a little bit of cat and mouse and depends on the team, but we have adjustments for, if this is your best guy and if this is your best guy. So yeah, there's teams that single it up and start throwing that way, and it becomes real obvious real quick, and you say, okay, we'll make our adjustment.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. So the last question that I wanted to get to from the survey was we had a lot of people interested in like wings, either double wing or single wing. How do you guys handle that? And what does that look like from like a fit perspective? how you call them, strength, things like that.
Yeah. So I saw that question, and my question back to it is, what type of double wing team are you playing? Are we playing a triple team? Are we playing, because we have a team here in Illinois that they're whatever they are, 14-time state champs or whatever they are, and they run double wing, too tight double wing, but they don't run any option. Don't pitch the ball, never even read anything. It's all downhill, and so it's like, okay, what type of team are we playing? Are we playing a true option team? Are we playing a belly team? It makes a difference.
David says no option, double wing.
Just straight up double wing. Just playing a little. All right. In that case, then
Pull guard, pulling. I saw. It looks like they're running a little power, a little tackle. He says they're trying to outnumber you.
Trying to do numbers, probably unbalanced and all that too. So yeah, they run probably power, sweep, buck, trap, all that stuff. So in that case, how are we playing that? Well, obviously aligned to numbers. Your alignment is key, so you have to be good on that. I don't know how you guys play nub sides, but the way that we do it is we'll take our invert and put him over the tight end just like we normally do, and then we'll put our corner back inside about 8 to 10 by 1 inside of the tight end, so he's attached to that C gap. So I don't know how you guys play it. I don't know, but I'm just telling you the way that we do it and the way we had success. We call it wombat. So anytime we get a nub set or single width, however you want to say, then we wombat it, and we'll put like I said, we'll put that invert outside of the tight end, and then we'll put the corner 8 by 1, let's say, inside the tight end. So your alignment has to be key. The great thing about the stack, if I'm playing a team like that, I'm not really blitzing much because when I blitz, I take my guys out of their fits. If you want to maybe run a single man blitz or something, and if some type of motion gives away what they're going to do and you want to blitz that, then by all means go ahead and do that. But I would not blitz my backside backer because that's the guy that you're going to lose out on. That's the guy that's going to end up cleaning a lot of the stuff up. So I wouldn't blitz my backside backer if I knew, if I had some type of motion that I knew that they were running power, let's say, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't touch it. The only thing, if anything, I would blitz my middle backer and send him right through the A gap and have both A gaps clogged up and make everything bounce. But other than that, something good that we've done in the past is put your stack backers up, put them at 3. So they're playing and they're making quick reads. So wherever you play your DNs, say you're playing them in 5s or whatever, that's fine. Play them in 5s. Move my inside backers up to about 3 yards worth of depth, and everything's going to happen a lot quicker. And then that's going to free up your middle backer as well. It's going to make the reads a lot clearer for him because then he could see. So they're not all hitting it at the same time, and he doesn't know where the hell he's going. It's going to be clear, and you're not blitzing those dudes and wasting them. So some of these double wing teams love it when you play a 5-man front, a 7-man front, or just play bare. And they're like, oh, they'll just down everything. It's great. It's easy. But if I'm putting those dudes at 3 or 2.5 even, well, they don't know. I could still rock back out. I could still, if I get doubled down, I could still rock back out on it. It leaves a lot of uncertainty. Also, another thing I would do. Who asked that question, by the way?
There was David. I'll unmute him real quick for you, Coach.
David, yeah. Another thing you could do, David, is play with your fronts. All right, so don't always play the same front. Play different fronts. Put those dudes in different positions so that they're not just sitting ducks out there. If you're typically playing your guys in a 5 technique, every now and then you're going to put them in a 3 and make that outside backer play the C gap. Or put them in, I like this front, and you can put it however you want. We call it, we call our fronts based on area codes. So it just tells the guys where they're going. So, like a 4, a 0, and a 4 for us is Atlanta, because a 404 is an Atlanta area code.
All right.
303, things like that, the different area codes based on the numbers. So I like the 305, which is Miami. So we'll put the 3 tech in to the strength, a 0 and a 5 tech away from the
You
strength.
you do like a field and boundary kind of thing?
Yeah, we have a couple different indicators that we could do off of it, but yeah, we'll for us, because we play a lot of gun teams, we'll put it to the back. If I'm playing a
Okay.
double wing team, maybe I put it to maybe I put it to the tight end or to whoever, the blocking back.
Yeah.
Usually the one, there's like a 2 and a 4 back, and the 4 back's bigger, the 2 back's quicker, whatever. Maybe I put it to the dude that blocks more. So you could manipulate that however you want, and you could set the front that way, or you can just go random with it. Sometimes going random's not the worst thing because they don't know what the hell they're doing. So the offense, they're like, oh, I've never seen him in a 3 before. What do? I panic, so I don't block him. Or I'm supposed to come trap the 5 technique. Well, coach, there was no 5 technique, and I just blocked air. And the dude, you had a 2-yard tackle for loss. So it's, simple things like that for you guys. We have a built-in, or we call our defensive ends. One's name is Tom, one's name's Fred. So you could just be as simple as, hey, Tom. That just means Tom goes B gap. You line up in the B gap.
Right.
It could be that easy.
Yeah.
And
'Cause they're always-
it makes it look to them like, oh shit, this is some weird front that we've never seen.
Would you ever like stem out on the cadence or anything like that? Like starting like a 505 and then go to a 503 or something like that, like on the first sound or something like that, or just
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And once they become more comfortable with it, then they do it on their own, and we don't,
Right.
we don't give them any cues. They know when the snap's coming, and we give our guys during the game, like, hey, knows you're responsible for getting the calls, like the offensive calls, like
Yeah.
when they call, Cardinal, that means that they're going on 2 or something. You're responsible for that. Tom end, you're responsible for, down and distance and shit like that. So, yeah, small little things like that during the game and cues can help.
Coach,
But
do you
that-
ever like
Runs.
do you ever 2-gap your end? Like, I know you said you line them up in inside I-4 technique, but you ever like, because I always heard on like a double tight team, if the guard and the tackle both pull to like kind of 2-gap them, try to get to the center and try to knock that nose over to the other gap.
Yeah, we've thought about it,
Yeah.
but I'd be beside myself if I told the end to 2-gap and he threw out and increased the B gap for 60. I don't know if I could live with myself. Like, I'd just be so angry.
Right.
Because, he's trying to make a play, but, dude, there's some big boys in there, So it's just better. I feel more comfortable just putting those guys in a gap rather than – now, hey, if you're a player, I'm not going to tell you not to make a play. So if you're a B gap player and this B gap's closing down and this, it's getting wash. Now you want to throw back out. All right, hey man, you made a play. Good for you. But
Right.
to teach it, I don't like giving them that kind of freedom.
Okay.
Not in the fit, man. Don't mess the fit up.
Yeah, man. And see, that's the beauty about the 3-3 stack, man. You can do about a million things out of it, but my head coach and the guy who I learned to stack from, he told me keep it simple, stupid. And as I was going back through my data, when we ran base, we played pretty well. Just staying in our 404, and just playing balls to the wall. We played well. So like I said, there's a lot of things you can do out of the stack. You can move and mess and do all that, but it's with anything. If you can't do base, you're not going to be very good at all. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. All right, we got about 10 minutes left. I don't want to hold Coach forever. I know he says he's got a lot of time, but it's getting close to 9 o'clock. So go ahead, shoot your questions if you have them, and I'll unmute you as you ask questions. If you don't have any questions,
I just don't want to see another. I don't want to see another ding-a-ling today. That's all.
yeah, no, I got enough of that. But we'll be back next Sunday. We've got. I'm sorry, I'm rambling here. I lost him.
Let me see if I can get you guys questions here.
Oh, sorry. We've got Coach Gregory Miller, who's going to be talking to us next week over the 3-3 stack again. He's been in the business for about 18 years. So we'll be back here. I'll probably try to move it to YouTube so we don't get any bombers. Let's see here. Vernon's asking, how do you play read, aka zone? I guess the zone read. Vernon, I'll unmute you real fast, so that way you can talk to Coach.
All right. So Vernon, just so you know, if we're just playing a typical base where our end's going to be in B gap, our stack backer there is going to rock and roll. So he's going to see down. He's going to rock back out, and he should rock there for the first thing that shows. So really, that quarterback's going to be reading an open C gap, so he should give that thing. He's not going to be, unless he's looking at the outside backer, and the outside backer is going to be holding too. So it gives him a give read every time. Should be pretty much be a collision right there outside with our stack backer.
Okay. What about RPO? How are you? I guess right here you're in the pistol. If the back is to you, are you telling that stack backer anything different?
No, he's still reading the triangle, and he's reading flow to, flow away.
Okay.
Right.
So what we tell I like when you started early off talking about reads and if he was to you and run to you or run away. I exactly coached it that way. Okay. However, the guy to the back, we see so much RPO.
Mm-hmm.
We teach that guy to be slow, slow for RPO, and then for us, we changed it. We're gonna read the end. We're reading the tackle with our end the same way you guys are doing. So it's essentially going to make it it's going to come wider to the C gap for our stat backers anyway. For us, our stat backers to the back, he's going to play slow for RPO. And then the next thing he's going to think, of course, he's seeing EOL to mesh as our key. We're seeing EOL, or if we're out of the box, we're seeing EOL to mesh to get our key.
Yeah.
And then we're slow for RPO. They got a bunch, I guess they have to do, and then their quarterback, and then if the quarterback is attacking, the line of scrimmage really will attack. If he doesn't, then we'll sit there. We're just going to sit, and so kind of that's how we coach it, and I think it's beneficial for us because if that backer comes and flies downhill, man, or flies for the cutback right now, man, they're throwing it right behind them. And no one can replace it right there that fast. So we've been just trying to we've been trying to help ourselves from an RPO standpoint. It's really helped us on the backside. The other thing too, from a stat backer standpoint, we've been telling those guys to take care of their side of the football. So if the back is to me, really I need to take care of my side. The other side is really we're gapped out. All right, and then so it just allows me to be patient, play CBR. Sorry,
yeah. So yeah, we actually play it really similar. So a lot. I mean, it sounds like you're getting a lot of obviously RPO, but it basically becomes triple option with a bubble, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, triple. I mean, but the RPO, I mean, they're reading first, second level, and then we're gonna see a lot of art. You know, we've played a lot of eyes technique for us last year. It's not certainly not our base, but we end up being one of our better fronts. Started getting a lot of arc. So I was really just trying to see kind of what are your different ways of playing inside zone, because we're gonna get arc, we're gonna get block. You know, they're gonna block it. I just wanted to see what y'all were doing.
So really, our combatant to it is the way that we move our front. So I don't ever want to be, again, I don't want to stay in our ends playing B gap all game, because then they know what we're doing. So I'll call a lot of claw, which puts them in C gaps, or I'll call, or I'll just put them, I'll just straight up, this front I like a lot. Well, the 305 or the 503. So therefore, if I put, I know I got him drawn up a pistol here, but you know, if the back's here, then I'll just put this dude in I'll put him in a 3, and then now he's got to read this guy, you know. So you know, we can do some different things like that. We manipulate that way, or we just go straight up 303 and just force you to bubble it out. You know, it's a give read every time, or it should be, unless you're running Q power or something like that. That's a whole different
And that's one thing too we talk about is, you know, who do we want to end up with the football? You know, and that's that's how we determine, because I mean, sometimes we don't want them to hand it off.
I hear you.
You know,
and just so you know, we surf our ends for all you guys. So we'll surf if we are in a C technique. The DNs are a C technique player. We'll surf it, so they'll be quarterback players. I don't like the ends chasing dives. It's a lesser athlete chasing a better athlete, and I don't like it.
Okay.
So
yeah, see, that's our base, and that's essentially what we do is chase with our ends, and that was our number one way of doing things. We've got a couple calls to change it up. I still think we'll chase mostly. I mean, if our guys will commit to it, I mean, they get a ton of tackles for losses, and I mean, it's hard to account for that guy chasing down the line of scrimmage, man. And we've got some pretty athletic linemen. I think it helps us. I mean, I think we do other things than that, but for the most part, chasing is our MO. And I've been in different systems. We've done different things, but I like it. I just didn't know if you guys did anything different. We'll charge them up the field, like you said, to play the C gap, and then to bring the backer under for you. So he's a B gap fitter.
That's really those are our main ways of playing it. We'll put them, you know, change up the read for them, or just put them in a different technique altogether. Or if we're getting to that point, I could send a backer as well. So I'll send a backer off the edge, and now it's right at you. So you know, those are the adjustments.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's taken for granted sometimes, is freaking hit the quarterback in the face, you know, put it right in his face right now too. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, then you see him drop the ball. Then you're like, okay, that worked. Yeah, nice charge. So any other questions?
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
It looks like Lori is asking about 10 personnel, outside zone, and then 1 back power. I'll
bring it. Bring the outside zone. Bring the outside zone right to the house. So, no, just kidding. We do see a lot of outside zone, actually. So, outside zone, hey, remember, flow to, flow away. We're keeping it simple. Outside zone for us, nobody has a gap. You find the first open window, you take it, you make a play. You know, because you want to talk, oh, well, coach, I got to fit in the gap, in this gap. No, dude, because what's going on in the mind of a running back, getting a handoff for outside zone is, you know, taking it to my read. But then after that, where's the first hole? Where's the first thing that I can hit daylight? There's nowhere. There's no daylight. We run ourselves through that first window. It's cut back, and now it's dead. You know, so to us, how we play outside zone, take that first window and go from there. As well as inverts, you have to go and set an edge. I don't talk about set an edge. I talk about run to the outside shoulder, and that's what we talk about. Because you get you'll get this kid right here talking about, I set an edge over here, you know, on the sideline. Oh, I set an edge. Look at that, coach. I set it. And then they ran it through this huge hole. Well, I set the edge. No, you didn't. So we have a run at that outside shoulder of the running back. Therefore, it will cut back. Now, if he cuts it outside of you, that's fine, but at least it had to bubble then, you know, and these guys are still running to the ball. So we talk about, you know, I try to give them a point on where to set that edge, and that is the outside shoulder of the running back for us. So you see outside zone come your way, all right, let's go abort, let's go run to outside zone, run to the outside shoulder. And then everybody else is looking for that first window.
So you're telling the safeties to set your outside edge?
The inverts, yes.
So,
Those are my one.
so if they get any kind of run action to them, they're off a pass.
No, only outside. It's inside. So if it's inside run to you, we tell them pinch. So that means just pretty much hang tight, pinch, like, yeah. And then from there, if it bounces, then you have to go contain. So no, if we get, if they get a poke fake or something, they're not taking that
Yeah.
right away.
So now, and I think you kind of answered that with Coach Wright a while ago. If you get 2x2 zone option, quarterback pulls it out the back door, who's responsible there?
If it's just quarterback run,
Yeah, just say, yeah, we're getting zone option, we're getting bubble by number 2, and then we're getting quarterback. Who's going to be responsible for the bubble versus quarterback?
so really it's your invert. He's your pitch player in that situation, along with the corner, and then you have the free who's playing dive to quarterback to pitch. So this free is going to be the one that probably gets the hit on your quarterback,
Okay.
as well as so whoever the backside backer is, that's his play. But if he misses, then this free should be there cleaning up because he's going D to Q to P, as well as hell if this quarterback, all right, he's taking it, he's running down the line, and he puts that outside foot in the ground and turns up now. All right, now outside backer you can fold in because he ain't going to throw that. He's not going to throw the third option right now. So
Right.
yeah.
All right, and then the last question, Coach.
Just
Coach,
one more, because that is a good question, Lori.
sorry.
What we'll do too, unless we see it on film of this guy pull it out and throw this bubble on the triple option, we're probably just going to run this invert right at the quarterback as well.
Yeah. Oh, we get a bunch of that. I mean, that's probably
If you're good
80%
enough
of our
to-
teams is,
Go ahead.
pre-snap RPO or something simple to that. I mean, they're always running. You got to respect it. If they don't, they'll beat you with it
Right. Do they throw the bubble a lot?
a lot.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
What we done to combat it is we just widened our stack backers out. We let them be quote unquote force players from the outside,
Mhm.
and they can stay inside, and then we just let the safety stay on top. I just wonder how you guys are doing it.
Yeah. We don't get a lot where they throw that thing out there, but
Yeah.
we see it probably only 4 or 5 times a year. Will it actually throw that thing?
Oh man, they're stacking all the way out to the ball being in the middle of the field, and they're stacking wide receivers outside the numbers and throwing.
I would just man all that up then and just
Yeah.
fucking make that quarterback run and just hit the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Thank you though. Thank you for that question. Yeah.
All right, and then Coach Gibson asked, how do you handle empty?
Empty. Blitz it. Run
Blitz.
zero.
Yes, sir.
Seriously. Run zero. Because, or at least for us anyway. The teams we play, why are they getting an empty? Number one, quick pass. Just a 3-step something. 2, quarterback run. And number 3, probably to throw it deep. Maybe. Probably not. But guess what? If I'm running a 6-man blitz and you got a 5-man protection, it's not going to be that deep. Your route ain't going to be that deep. So I blitz it. If I want to play coverage, we'll play coverage, but it's probably a blitz, ideally. Now, I do like this, or really the third reason they get into empty is they want to get the ball to the number 3. So what I do, if I am running coverage to it and I get to pick my coverage we have an empty coverage, I'll man up number 3 and just play zone everywhere else around it. Because a lot of the teams that we play, they're just trying to get the ball. They're using their best matchup, and that's the number 3 receiver on our middle backer. So I'll just man that up, take that option away, and then they'll have to go to option 2, 3, whatever. So, but my answer to the question is blitz it and play zero and make them throw the ball deep. That's not what they want to do, unless you're playing a team that does. In which case, then I'll do something else. I'll play some coverage or something.
Well, that looks like it's it. Coach, do you mind if I share this the stuff you have on the screen here?
Absolutely not. And I do want to give you guys, seriously, I want to give you guys my number here and my contact info, because if you do have questions and stuff, I do want to talk about this with you guys. So I'll write it on this little board here. But unless you want to write it down. So my number, my personal number is 815-546-4666. 815-546-4666. And then my email address right here. Hope you guys can see that. Is that backwards to you? Is that backwards or no? Is that front side? It's backwards. All right, my email address is bbonds at St. Francis FRANCIS.edu. bbonds at stfrancis.edu. I also have another, if you want to just reach my Gmail for whatever reason, if we get shut down and I get fired for no reason from COVID, it's briantbonds@gmail.com. And I'll respond to all those. Seriously, I have time, plenty of time. Even if I didn't have time, I'd talk to you guys and try to help you in whatever way. Like I was telling you guys before, a lot of people have helped me, and I'm so thankful for them. And if I could do any little bit, I have some resources and things like that, stuff that's not mine that I have that can help you with 3-3 stack, single high, 2 high, 3 high. Love to talk, just to even see what you guys are doing too, and help you. So I hope you reach out. If not, that's cool too. It's good to get to do this with you guys. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Hey, thanks, Coach. I appreciate you coming on. Sorry about the bombing there.
Hey, man, it's not your fault. Thanks for handling that.
Yeah,
You did a good job handling that. So.
yeah. Hey guys, we'll be back next week. Like I said, we got Coach Miller. He's going to go over some 3-3 stack stuff with us as well. If you guys, I don't know anything. This was my first year being a DC, so I don't know. I know zero. So if you guys ever want to chit chat, ever want to lead the conversation, just let me know, and we'll get you written down. I put the playbook in the chat. If you can't get that, just email me. It's I'll type my email in here, ronsandy@me.com. Give me a shout if you guys need anything. You guys have a great day. Stay safe. Stay out of the COVID environment. We'll see y'all later.
The 19. See you
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.